Hi, my name is Sherry, and this is Cross Potent, a place where magical people meet. Today I'm in southern Illinois, enjoying this beautiful field of flowers. I just had to stop and make a video when I saw these flowers. Just so picturesque. This is going to be your Native American Zodiac horoscope for April 2016. I'm also going to do the compatibilities at the end, because everybody's still asking lots of questions about that. So for April 2016, it starts out with the sun in the Hawk, which is a fire sign, and things are a lot more active. Spring is here, the flowers are open, the birds are singing. You can really feel the Hawk this time of year. Soon, on the 20th, the sun will go into the sign of the beaver, which is much more earthy sign, grounded sign. Things will get a lot more down to business of production and getting, they'll start planting seeds in the ground, and things will start getting rolling for the rest of the seasons, the growing seasons, you might say. The new moon happens on the 7th in the sign of the wolf. This is a new moon is a kind of a time of beginnings, and sign of the wolf is a little more retrospective or introspective sign. So this is a new moon when we might be starting new things that are more of on an internal nature, things that matter to us inside, you know. The full moon is on the 22nd in the sign of the snake. And the full moon is a culmination point of projects and things. And the snake is a little bit of a mysterious sign and a little bit of a secretive sign. This might be a culmination of things that are your own little pet project, your personal project, or possibly between you and your partner. Maybe something of value to your partner. The snake is very good at being in a couple. They are very good at teaming up with someone like that. So this is a time when you might have a full moon culmination point in a little project between the two of you. Mercury is also in the Hawk, same as the sun, moving into the beaver on the 6th. But there's a lot of retrogrades this month. Mercury is the first one I want to talk about. Mercury is your communications planet, your way of thinking and communicating and perceiving your immediate information of your environment. Going from a fiery hawk into the more earthy beaver, and then going retrograde. Think of retrograde as redoing, revisiting, possibly revising. It's a good thing. Generally, it makes us go back and perfect things. A lot of people don't like to do that, but it is generally a beneficial cycle if we work with it. But don't get frustrated with Mercury retrograde. It starts on the 28th and it goes into next month, usually about 5 or 6 weeks. It might be a little bit of clumsiness, a little bit of things don't line up well. I broke a glass one of my favorite glasses the other day that I drink my coffee out of. Set it on a pile of paperwork, and the paperwork slid off the table, and every coffee went everywhere. It was a mess. So that's Mercury retrograde is coming. I feel like I'm already starting to feel a little herky-jerky from it coming. They say that the worst times is coming into Mercury retrograde and going out of Mercury. That transition is a little bit of the roughest part. Venus, planet of love, is in the Wolf, which is very emotional, deep, passionate placement for Venus, and it's going into the Hawk, which is more fiery, and that's on the 6th. Also, Venus will trine Mars on the 12th and trine Saturn on the 18th. Both of those are in the Owl, which is a very social sign, and for Venus to trine that, I have a feeling that things are going to be very lively around that time with friends, and very harmonious time to get together and try to network and be on a more social, expansive level at that point. Mars is in the sign of the owl, which I was just talking about. That is also one of the ones going retrograde. Just about every other planet I'm going to talk about is either going retrograde or going to be in its shadow this month. Mars goes retrograde on the 17th. Jupiter in the sign of the brown bear is retrograde all month. Saturn in the sign of the owl is retrograde all month. So this is a time when really we should be working on things we've already got going that might need a little finishing touch or a little perfecting or maybe just a little something else, to really get it to a good point. This is not the time to start new things. And also, Mars retrograde only happens once every couple years, with Mars going retrograde on the 17th until, I believe, June. The end of June. That's a long time for Mars to be retrograde. So this is a kind of a rare occurrence, only every couple of years. So for our Mars energies to go retrograde, this might be a time when maybe we need to rethink how we communicate with people. Perhaps get away from all the technology communication. Talk more face-to-face with people. Shake people's hands. Pat people on the back. Give people a hug. This is a time when being real and being human is very advantageous. Don't rely on the email, the text. Get away from text messaging. There's too much miscommunication with that. We read each other much better face-to-face. And I would highly recommend that, getting more back to that face-to-face communication for pretty much the rest of the year. Okay. The planet Uranus is in the sign of the hawk also. It's been there for a while. It's going to reach shadow on the 12th, which is the point where it retrogrades back to and then moves forward again. So this means we're going to start really feeling a little bit of the retrograde starting. Also, Neptune in the Wolf is reaching shadow on the 28th, and then Pluto is going retrograde on the 18th. Pluto is in the sign of the Goose. So these are long-term transits of these later planets. They're slower moving. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. They're very far away. They move slowly. They affect more of a generational aspect than the little quicker ones like Mercury that zips around the sun. So Uranus in the hawk is a time of change. Uranus is a planet of change and the unexpected, and Uranus is a considered kind of eccentric, and I often think of shattered glass when I think of Uranus. Not necessarily mean that the planet's directly connected with that, but I think of chaos and kind of like a lot of pieces of a jigsaw puzzle and things along those lines. In a fiery hawk sign means that changes and types of challenges like that are very good if we just jump right in, feet first, and dive in and do it. Will be much more effective than if we kind of keep putting it off and thinking about it and putting it off and thinking about it. That's not the way to go right now. We need to really dive into things, deal with them, get it over with. Neptune in the Wolf. Neptune's a little bit of a more spiritual planet, very slow moving, tends to bring everything into one, make the universe all as one. We become more aware of the oneness of everything with this planet. Being in the sign of the Wolf is kind of heavy, though, I gotta say. This is a time when the heaviness of spirituality is weighing on a lot of parts of the world, and this is a time when we need to learn how to make spirituality work in our lives, not confine us and control our lives. That's not what it should be about. It should work with us, it should invigorate us, it should uplift us, especially women. If a religion doesn't uplift women, then how can it work for women? And anyway, that's a whole nother topic. The idea of these retrogrades and all this revisiting and revising is a important time for us to kind of step back and maybe write things down, document where your thoughts are right now, and then see where they are at the end of the summer or at the end of this year. And I bet things will drastically change in your outlook and your perspective. It's going to be a year of a lot of revising our ideas about the world, and I think it's very important for us as a culture, as a people. We need to do this. I'm going to quickly go through the compatibilities for people who are wondering about that. The hawk, which is March 22nd to April 19th, is compatible with the salmon, the owl, and the otter. The beaver, which is April 20th to May 20th, is compatible with the woodpecker, the brown bear, and the goose. The deer is May 21st to June 20th, compatible with the crow, the otter, and the salmon. The woodpecker, which is June 21st to July 22nd, compatible with snakes, wolves, and beavers. The salmon, July 23rd to August 22nd, owls, hawks, and deers, among many other. Well, hello, puppy. Hi, Jakey. He's going to be my production assistant today. The brown bear, August 23rd to September 22nd, is compatible with the goose, the beaver, and the snake. The crow, September 23rd through October 23rd, compatible with the otter, the deer, the owl, also the salmon. Everybody loves the salmon. Crow, September 23rd. Oh, I just said that one. Snake, October 24th through November 21st. Woodpecker, the wolf, the brown bear, also goose, I believe. The owl, November 22nd through December 21st. The salmon, the hawk, and the crow are their compatibilities. The goose, December 22nd through January 19th, compatible with beavers, brown bears, and wolves. The otter, January 20th through February 18th, compatible with crows, falcons, and deer. The wolf, February 19th through March 20th, compatible with woodpeckers, brown bears, and snakes. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to subscribe for free, you can click the subscribe button and you'll get an email update when I post these videos. And thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it.